Hi guys, welcome to my channel, Life's Journey, Ups, Downs, and Positivity. Tonight I'm coming to you guys with a topic that's kind of is touching different points, okay? With what's going on now, what's been going on. Basically, I'm going to share my opinion, which is just my opinion, and I respect everybody else's opinion. I'm going to also touch on some cases that have happened, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. All right, so I hope everybody's doing well. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for all the views, the likes, the comments, sharing the love. All right, so actually I'm going to be sitting down. Just need to be comfortable for this, because as we all know, in the past few days it's been so hard, so rough for everybody. All right, we have COVID, and then we have Mr. Floyd, and then we have all the like, for instance, Chief David Dawn that loses life. It's just a lot going on. So let's jump right into it. Okay. So first I want to say my sympathy goes out to the Floyd family and to everyone that have lost a loved one because of the violent escalation resulting from the very bad action that these 4 police officers took involving Mr. George Floyd. All right, so that being said, I know we have I want to touch on this because actually I was texting back and forth with someone for a while on this, so I want to touch on this. All right, the Black Lives Matter. Okay, now I understand the Black Lives Matter team. I respect them, and I understand the mission. All right, and this person had asked me, but you know, I put that post out and it says all lives matter, and that was just my humble prayer, asking God to help us to realize that, because I think it's super important for us to realize all lives matter. Not to say that Black Lives Matter team does not realize that, but that's just my prayer, asking God to help us as human beings to realize that. And so the individual, you know, we had good conversations, and we agree on some things and disagreed on some things, and I think that that's healthy, right? So it went like this. He couldn't understand why I feel like, you know, like, or how I can say that all lives matter when Black people have been going through and dealing with police brutality for such a long time, right? And whilst I understand that, in every single way. My point to him was that two wrongs don't make a right, and I feel like the innocent should not pay for the guilty. And I think that we have good people in this world and we have bad people in this world, people that just choose to do bad things, knowingly do bad things. Does racism exist? Absolutely. How I feel about that? So my thing is, you know, my great-grandmother would always say, charity begins at home and ends abroad. So to translate that, we got to be careful what we're teaching children, because every generation of children is the future, right? We were children once, and then now we're adults. We're this future, and then I don't have kids personally, but let's just say then our kids are children now, but they are the future. So if we want to teach our kids, if we want a better future for our kids and a better world and a better place for our kids, we have to teach them the right thing. Okay? And when I say we, I mean we as a people, because I feel like white folks needs to do it, black folks needs to do it, everybody needs to do it. Like I say, for me, I don't see black and white, I see human beings, and I feel that we all need to teach the children the right from wrong. Okay? And you know, I was telling the gentleman in the, in the chat, I said, he said, how could you see what these officers do to Mr. Floyd and still say black lives, all lives matter? And I explained to him, I said, I literally cry tears, broken hearted tears, looking at the mother of Mr. Floyd's daughter, while she was speaking, trying to get her words out, so emotional. And then the little girl, their daughter, Mr. Floyd's daughter, and her daughter, standing there. And then she just looked up at her mother in tears, and I saw her face. I'm telling you, it broke my heart. Broke my heart. I thought my heart was broken looking at what was done to Mr. Floyd, but when I saw that little girl, oh, it really did it completely, destroyed. And what I did is I said to the gentleman, I told him that, and then I told him, I said, I looked at another video where with the elderly gentleman that the police officer pushed. Where was this? In Chicago, I think it was. Let me check. Don't hold me to that. And the thing is, when the officer pushed that gentleman, and like I said, I see human being, I don't see color. But to make my point, let me say, the gentleman that was pushed by the police officer appears to be a white man. Okay? Just to put that out there, since the black and white issue is really floating in the air strongly right now. And for me, I did not see, that's not what I saw. I saw a man, a human being, pushed so hard that he lose his balance and fell to the ground, hit the back of his head, and was bleeding through his ears, lying helplessly. A human being. You know what? Remember I just said how it broke my heart when I saw what that officer did to Mr. Floyd, and how it broke my heart when I saw the little girl, Mr. Floyd's daughter, look up at her mom in tears, and I saw her face, the little girl's face. Remember I said how it broke my heart? When I saw this happen to that elderly gentleman, it broke my heart. Okay? And you know, another thing with my great-grandparents, they always say it's not what you do, it's how you do it. Okay? So I'm not saying, I'm not here to judge, I'm not a police officer, I'm not a, you know, but I'm just saying that if in this situation, let's say the officer feel like this gentleman was getting too close, I feel like they're trained to keep him at his distance without having to push him so hard, because he really stumbled and tried to catch his balance, but just didn't, you know, and that was really sad. I'm not saying the officer meant for that to happen, but we got to be careful. We got to be careful of our actions, you know, as human beings, on the job, at home, wherever. We just always got to be careful, because it's very important, you know. And yeah, so that being said, you know, so I told the gentleman that, and then, you know, he understood that and everything, but he just feel like the point that needs to be made is that Black Lives Matter. And I agree with him. That point needs to be made. But I also agree that all lives matter really needs to be understood. You know, and we need to teach our children this. We need to really teach our children this. I saw another video with a little girl, and she's white, and for some reason, maybe I think maybe I'll share it. I'll think about it. Maybe I'll share it, or maybe most of you saw it already. And this little girl decided to address her parents about the Black Lives Matter and what's going on right now, and she decided to secretly record them. Okay, I don't know her age. Could be about 6, 7, 8. I'm not sure. And the conversation was going back and forth, and I mentioned this to the gentleman as well in the chat, you know. And the little girl was saying to her dad that, you know, Black Lives Matter, and, you know, that we should really care about Black people. And then the dad, now I'm not saying the exact, I'm not quoting her, okay? I'm just kind of saying it to what was being said, without using the exact words. And then the dad was saying to her, oh, no, you need to understand something about the ghetto, and they're in the ghetto. And then the little girl was saying, no, but you have to understand they were oppressed, and that's why they behave like that. And I mean, we have to understand them, and you know, they never had a fair chance like, you know, we did, or you, she was telling her father, like you did. And then they went back and forth. But the thing is, the parents, because the mom jumped in at one point, and the mom was saying, telling her like she needs to understand. And then she said, well, I am going to, something to the effect of, when she will like love or respect the officers when they learn to love and respect Black people, something to that effect. So like I said, I probably would share the videos just so you can see. I'm not quoting anybody. I'm just giving an idea of how this thing was going. But what the bigger picture about this video, what to me is to see that this child, you know, our future, because the children are our future, right? The children are the future. That was just struggling with her parents, just trying and pleading with them to understand that, you know, black people are human beings. We are all human beings. A child is telling two adults this, you know. And then they started to break it down where how many black people is just, they just use the system and all these things and arrested and whatever. And then the little girl started to give them the maths as well. As far as white folks, it's a higher percentage, and so when you do the math, the number that's the percentage in blacks that's being abused or brutal by police officers or what, you know, that kind of situation is higher. But it was just interesting to see, and I feel like we should really watch this video. And I asked myself, what made this little girl decide to tape her parents and put this out there, you know? But I think I have an idea what it is. You know, children live and they learn what they live what they learn. You know, and that's why my point to the gentleman is that for me, I really want to spread love, and I really want to spread, I want to put it out there that all lives matter, because I feel like the children are watching, and I feel like they need to notice, and I feel like everything that's going on, we need to prepare the children in a different way. I saw another video, as you guys know, so many videos out there, where these guys were out in the street. I think it was for the protesting or something, but it went like this. One gentleman was super, you know, a black man, super upset, and he was saying, no, we've been going through this for, you know, I'm 46, something like that, and I've been going through this for 46 years, and I'm mad, and I'm upset, and everything. And then the other black man was saying, yes, but you know, and I'm 31, I understand, and I've been going through this for 31 years, right? And then they brought another little boy. I'm not sure if he was the son of either one of the gentlemen. The 31-year-old said to the little boy, you gotta do it different. You gotta do it different. See what he's saying? He's been going through this for 36 years, and we've been doing this for 36 years. I've been doing it for 31 years, and you've been doing it for how much years? I don't remember. The little boy said 14 or 18 or whatever it was he said. So he said, you understand me? We got to do it different. And you know what? We have to do it different, because the children are crying out. Children of all color, creed, and race, they're crying out. They don't want to be caught up in this mess that we're dragging from hundreds of years ago. They don't want to be a part of it. They want to live and see each other as human beings. Okay? If we do something wrong, we do something wrong. Whatever the consequences are, it should be. That should be the consequence. It shouldn't be because of our color, creed, nor race. It shouldn't be. And we should not teach the children that. Okay? And a lot of children are starving. I'm not saying that we don't teach our children history. No. History, we do history even in school as a subject, right? Everyone should know their history. But that doesn't mean that we should live and keep on living and reliving and reliving and reliving the bad and the worst of our history. No. Let's teach our children to love. Let's teach our children to respect. And when I say our children, I'm talking about every color, creed, and race. You hear me? We need to stop it. We adults need to stop it. We think because when we're outside and we laugh and we talk and we're all hypocrite and we're acting like, you know, this is how it is. And then when we get in the house behind closed doors and we start talking dirty about other creed and race, what you think is happening? The children are listening. They're listening. You're poisoning your children. What kind of human being does that? And you know what? Some children will take it and they will grow with it. Some children will be very confused, become very hateful, get into all type of problems because they're so confused and they don't know how to deal with it. Okay? And some children will be in between. It's a mess. This is coming from somewhere. And it's coming from the fact that we are not doing the right thing at home. At home, where our true colors really show. Okay? That's where it's coming from. Because we need to teach the children that it's okay to have friends and that we're supposed to respect and love human beings as, every color, creed, and race. Okay? That's what we need to teach our children. And I believe it's done in every creed and race. Every color, creed, and race. I believe that. Okay? And that's the result of the craziness that's going on here in the police force, just out on the street, everywhere in this world. And it needs to stop. Okay? So anyway, the guy and I, we kind of got to mutual grounds because I definitely see his point and understand his point, and I want to think that he understands my point as well. And back to the children, but I want to I know the Mr. Floyd situation, it's really heated right now, and we have seen so many situations like this that got really heated and then it dies down. And that's why I said we have to make a real change, and it have to start from home. Okay? So what I wanted to say, since the gentleman picked me up on why did I say all lives matter, and I'm spreading love, I have to spread the love. He did not say I'm spreading love, but I'm just saying, if you look at my posts, I'm always trying to spread the love, because peace and love is super important to a happy life. Okay? A next point that I want to make, right? We talk about police brutality, and that's real. Okay? But do you know, and that's why I keep bringing it back to home, because like I said, my great-grandmother said, charity begins at home and ends abroad. Do you know that first, let me touch these points here. So I wanted to make that point, so that I see human beings, I don't see color. I respect and support peaceful protesting, not looting and stealing and killing and being a menace to society. I don't care who you are. Police officer, regular, doesn't matter. I'm going to say it again. I respect and support peaceful protesting. So don't miss my point and don't get me wrong. But not looting, stealing, killing, and being a menace to society. Because that makes you no different from the 4 men that did this horrible, horrific, terrible, ugly, dirty act that they committed, crime that they committed, taking Mr. Floyd's life. I do not support meaningless killing of another human being. Okay? I do not believe that the innocent should pay for the guilty. Burning buildings, stores. I saw a video and it was a Hispanic gentleman, and he was talking, and it brought tears to my eyes as well. He was saying, they burned down his store and everything. Remember, we're already dealing with COVID-19. Trying to figure out how we can get back to some kind of civilized living. And then to think that small businesses are all closed up and locked down, and not knowing when they would be open or they will be able to open up, and let alone you're going to come and put that extra burden of burning, breaking down somebody's store, somebody's building, stealing, sneakers, television, microwave. What's the point here? What are we really doing? What are we really doing? We're angry about the bad things that 4 bad men did, or that all the bad, let's say, police officers have done in the past. We're so angry, right? That we are going to go out there and be just as destructive as those men, while you have people trying to spread the love, express their feeling, and get justice. You're busy stealing, looting, killing, causing all kind of chaos because you're selfish and you're mean. And then what? You go back home to your kids, to your family, and what do you say in the house? See, it comes back to in the house. What do you spread? What is that you're doing? And yes, I see white, I see black, I see all color, creed, and race. Looting, yes. But I'm saying it's wrong. It's wrong. And that's why I said all lives matter. And there is good and bad in everything. And we as human beings, we need to fix it. We need to clean up our house. That's what we need to do. Because our children are looking. And they're hungry for knowledge. And you know what? They're growing up. And if we're doing it, then they think it's the right thing. Okay? So we need to think about that. Okay? We really need to think about that. Another disturbing situation, and this is what I was explaining to the guy, because we can't just focus on one situation. Bad is bad and wrong is wrong, the police chief that was killed. Mr. David Dawn, 77-year-old, was found on the sidewalk in front of a jewelry store at 2:30 a.m. He was apparently trying to stop looters from entering the jewelry store. And what happened? He lost his life. 77-year-old black man, right? So how do you expect me to focus on color when I'm seeing all type of people, all color, creed, and race losing their lives senselessly at the hands of selfish, mean people? It's not about color. It's about wickedness. It's about selfishness. It's about evil. People being evil. People choosing evil over good. That's what it's all about. Because if you can kill those 4 men, because they're not officers no more, those 4 men could do what they did to Mr. Floyd and all the other cases that we know about, right? If looters can take the life of this officer, shoot so many other officers got wounded, good officers. We have good officers. We have to admit that. There's good and bad in everything. And I will always spread the love because it's good. It's good. That doesn't mean that a situation don't make me sad. That doesn't mean that I feel like if justice is not being done, that we shouldn't do peaceful protesting. No. But peaceful. We got to be focused and send the message. We don't have all type of chaos, jump into all type of chaos and bad situation to sidetrack the message and then say Black Lives Matter. All lives matter. Black lives matter. Absolutely. But all lives matter. Because if I step outside right now and I see a little white child being hurt by somebody, I'm going to do everything in my power to try to save her. The same thing I would do for a black child or a person of a human being of any color, creed, or race. So that's why I say all lives matter. That's it. That's it. I respect your opinion and your views, but I'm telling you straight, this is how I was raised, to understand that human beings are human beings. Okay? We don't go out there hurting people because of their color, creed, nor race. We don't do it. We don't encourage it. And that's it. And anyone that's doing it, they should face the full consequences of the law. And if we feel like that's being bypassed and we need to go out there and protest peacefully, then I feel like that's fine. Right? But these things, these abuse, they really start from home most of the time. Okay? So that being said, I have some other points. I'm going to jump to something else, talking about home, right? On April, no, let me go further back. I'm talking about, abuse, because we talk about, the police abusing and stuff. So we're going to touch on abuse and different type of abuse, right? And again, most of it start at home. So I was looking at an article, something that took place on or about November 7, 2019, a domestic abuse. Okay? That's why I said we have to think about the children, and we have to be a role model for our children, because they are the future of children of every color, creed, and race. Okay, so this is a situation. Jennifer Shillette, I think it's pronounced as, and her 5-year-old daughter was found dead in their apartment on West 121st Street in Harlem, along with the husband, which is the father of the little girl, the 5-year-old little girl. The father was, the mother was found with her throat slit, and the little girl, the 5-year-old, throat was slit as well, and the father later found, so it was stated that this homicide, it was ruled as homicide, and the father then later hung himself. So when the family wasn't hearing, because it is said that the wife had reported that, she was getting kind of scared of the husband, and anyway, when Mrs. Jennifer Shillette's father, he stated when they did not hear her for a couple of days, I think it was, they asked the police to go to the home to see if everything is okay, because it was not like his daughter to not, I guess, return phone calls or call. And this is what the police discovered: a man hanging in his bedroom, a father, that killed his wife and his 5-year-old daughter, cut their throat, then hung himself. How do you kill your own child? What color was these people? Or does it matter? This is home. At home. So we go out on the street and we meet these things, but look at what happened in the house. So we got to clean up house. This was on or about November 7, 2019.